The problem my group is working on is the US prison system. The main problem is overcrowding. This causes inhumane treatment of prisoners and makes huge investments necessary to expand the existing infrastructure. This leads to financial trouble as supporting this huge population and supporting the large bureaucracy and system that surrounds them is very expensive. These figures are only for the supporting the incarcerated and does not include infrastructure upkeep and expansion, bureaucracy salaries, and the cost of processing the inmates through the justice system. Our solution is split into three separate actions: deterrence, decriminalization, and rehabilitation. Deterrence is the first step. The current tactic of deterrence is the increase of punishments from the Tough on Crime campaign in the 1980s and 90s. This tactic naturally leads to overcrowding as sentences were increased almost universally. As people came in and never left, the prison population ballooned. The worst part is that many studies have found that the punishment is not the best deterrent. The best way to keep people from committing crimes is having a high chance of getting caught and not severe punishments. Increasing the budget of policing will not only lead to better accountability and more accurate convictions by the police, but also decrease the cost of the justice and incarcerations through simply less people committing crimes. Not only should we stop increasing punishments, we should reverse that legislation. With a return to older policies, a faster turnaround of inmates will create a more fluid prison population and inmates will not stagnate in the system. The three strikes rule is the biggest offender as the third offense is life in prison, an extremely harsh and expensive sentence. This rule is completely unwarranted for many reasons, but 2 minutes is too short to go into detail. Finally, rehabilitation will quell the overcrowding on the back end by reducing the amount of repeat offenders. A more hands-on approach is much more conducive to reducing repeat offenders than the current adult version of the timeout corner. Treatment for mental illness and addiction will not only help the inmates, but also decrease costs in the long run. Over 50% of inmates are on convictions relating to drugs, and if these prisoners can avoid repeat offenses, it would make a major difference.